As the 2025 harvest season stretches across every continent, nature offers not only abundance, but also harsh challenges. Across vast fields, millions of tons of fruits and vegetables await collection, while sudden storms and volatile markets threaten to wipe away an entire year's effort. This is the moment when humans and technology must race against time to secure the golden season. Today, Agriculture Insight will take you inside the 2025 harvest to witness how farmers gather millions of tons of crops within a record-breaking short window of time. For thousands of years, the olive tree has stood as a symbol of peace and prosperity across the Mediterranean. By 2025, global olive production is expected to exceed 23 million tons, harvested from September's green fruit to January's black oil-rich olives. Among them, Spain continues to dominate with more than 8 million tons each year, far surpassing Italy and Greece, thanks to the millions of hectares of olive groves in Andalusia and the region's early adoption of advanced mechanization. To meet this massive demand, traditional hand-picking methods have been replaced by modern harvesting machines. One of the most impressive is the Pellenc Expand R5090, a true technological beast. Its massive yellow catching frame extends up to 10 meters, wrapping around the base of the tree. A powerful hydraulic shaker then vibrates the trunk and branches, sending ripe olives cascading down like rain. The fruits are immediately carried onto conveyors that strip away leaves, remove debris, and transfer clean olives directly into storage bins. With a capacity of 4 to 5 tons per day, this machine replaces the work of dozens of laborers, making it especially effective in large-scale groves across Andalusia, Tuscany, and Crete. However, the next leap forward comes with self-propelled olive harvesters like the New Holland Broad series, designed specifically for super high-density orchards. Instead of shaking each individual trunk, these machines drive directly through densely planted rows, using dual shakers and conveyors on both sides to gently strip away 15 to 20 tons of fruit per day from the canopy. In terms of yield, a modern hectare of olive trees can produce 3 to 5 tons of fruit, equivalent to around 600 to 800 liters of extra virgin olive oil, depending on the variety and growing conditions. From there, millions of tons of olives are transformed into extra virgin oil, cosmetics, soaps, and even biofuels, fueling an industry worth more than $15 billion annually. Truly, olives remain the liquid gold of the Mediterranean. Delicate and easily bruised, zucchini, also known as courgette, is one of the most fragile vegetables to harvest, yet it is considered among the easiest crops to grow in the world. Within just 45 to 60 days after sowing, the plants begin to produce fruit, and throughout the season, farmers must harvest almost daily to keep each zucchini tender, crisp, and at its highest market value. Farmers use small knives to gently cut the stems, taking care not to damage the thin, sensitive skin. Left on the plant for just 1 or 2 extra days, the fruit can grow 3 to 5 centimeters longer, becoming oversized and losing commercial value. Today, the United States, Italy, Spain, and Mexico are among the world's largest zucchini producers. The United States alone harvests over 400,000 tons annually, while the European Union produces more than 1.1 million tons in total. Thanks to its rapid growth, continuous yield, and strong consumer demand, zucchini has become one of the 10 most widely cultivated vegetables worldwide. Today, more than 90 million beehives worldwide produce around 1.8 million tons of honey each year, supplying markets from Asia to Europe and North America. From May to September, the peak harvest season takes place across the northern hemisphere, when beekeepers carefully lift heavy honeycombs from their hives to collect nature's liquid gold. Smoke from a traditional bee smoker is used to calm the colonies and reduce the risk of stings. Each frame is then gently removed, often covered with thousands of bees. On average, a single frame can hold 2 to 4 kilograms of honey. The beekeeper must work quickly and precisely, brushing the bees away before placing the frames into sealed transport boxes. Globally, beekeeping is thriving. China leads the industry, producing over 450,000 tons, nearly 25% of the world's honey supply. The United States, Turkey, Argentina, and India also rank among the top producers. In Europe alone, more than 600,000 people are involved in apiculture, not only for honey, but also because of bees' crucial role in crop pollination. Once harvested, the honeycombs are delivered to processing facilities. There, the thin wax cappings are sliced off by hand knives or automatic uncapping machines. The frames are then placed into centrifugal extractors, high-speed spinners that force the honey out of the combs and into collection tanks. On the international market, the honey industry is valued at more than 10 billion USD annually, serving not only food but also pharmaceutical and cosmetic industries. Every drop of honey that reaches consumers represents a journey that is both artisanal and industrial, distilled from the tireless labor of millions of bees. Across the vast fields of Europe and North America, green peas, small, crisp, and sweet, demand a harvesting process timed down to the very hour, as more than 20 million tons must be gathered for the 2025 season. Specialized harvesters like the Oxbow series, equipped with cutting blades, conveyors, and separating fans, can collect up to 8–10 tons of peas per hour. The process runs seamlessly. At the front, blades slice close to the ground, pulling entire plants into the machine. Inside, beaters and airflow separate the peas from their pods, leaving only the vibrant green kernels. On average, each hectare yields 5 to 7 tons of fresh peas, and the harvest window lasts only 2 to 3 short weeks in summer. On the market, these peas are widely used as ingredients for soups, pasta dishes, salads, and stews, as well as in the form of frozen peas and canned peas destined for export. The fruit with a sweet fragrance beloved by more than 1 billion people worldwide is the peach. This year, global production exceeds 25 million tons of peaches and nectarines, with China alone accounting for nearly 70%, making it the undisputed center of the world's peach industry. Harvesting peaches is a process that demands great care. Because of their thin, delicate skin, most peaches are picked by hand. Farmers wear soft fabric gloves, gently twist the stems, and place each fruit into padded baskets to prevent bruising. Peaches are often harvested slightly firm, ensuring they remain fresh during long-distance transport. On average, a mature peach tree can yield 50 to 70 kilograms of fruit per season, while intensive orchards can produce up to 15 to 20 tons per hectare. After harvesting, peaches are quickly taken to packing facilities, washed, sorted by size and ripeness, then packed in trays or cushioned cartons for distribution. Today, peaches are not only a symbol of summer in many countries, but also a key ingredient in the juice, jam, pastry, and canned fruit industries, driving a global market worth billions of dollars each year. Cassava, also known as manioc or tapioca, is the world's third most important food crop, after rice and maize, feeding more than 800 million people every day. After about 8 to 12 months of growth, when the leaves begin to turn yellow, cassava roots are ready for harvest. In many regions, farmers still use hoes or their bare hands to pull up each plant, lifting entire clusters of long tubers from the soil. However, on large-scale farms, tractors and hydraulic lifters are used to uproot whole plants, shake off the soil, and gather them into piles. Immediately after harvesting, cassava must be processed quickly, as its starch content deteriorates rapidly. Most roots are sliced, sun-dried, or mechanically dried to produce tapioca starch, a key ingredient in the food, beverage, confectionery, and ethanol industries. Today, global cassava production exceeds 300 million tons annually, with Nigeria, Thailand, Indonesia, Brazil, and Vietnam among the leading producers, shaping an agricultural industry worth tens of billions of dollars worldwide. Over 2.5 million hectares of green cabbage across the world are entering the peak harvest season, covering vast fields from Europe to Asia. Each year, global production exceeds 70 million tons of cabbage, with China, India, Russia, and Germany leading the way, and accounting for more than 2/3 of the world's total output. Across fields spanning dozens of hectares, modern cabbage harvesters such as Assay Lift and Salmon begin their work. At the front, hydraulic blades slice close to the ground, neatly cutting each cabbage head from its stem. A tilted conveyor lifts the cabbages onto a sorting table, where workers quickly trim outer leaves, cut stems, and load them into crates or trailers. Each machine can harvest 15 to 20 tons of cabbage per hour, dozens of times faster than manual labor. At the processing facilities, cabbages are washed, graded, and shredded for food production lines. A portion is naturally fermented into sauerkraut, the signature pickled cabbage of Germany, Poland, and much of Europe. This year, global cabbage consumption is projected to reach 74.9 million tons, a slight increase from 70 million tons in 2023, continuing the steady growth trend of recent years. The storms of 2025 strike unpredictably, almost impossible to forecast. Leaves droop, many plants lean to one side, and millions of tons of crops lie buried in the mud, yet farmers still rush into the fields. For them, waiting for the sun is not an option. Just one more day of flooding could turn an entire year's work into decay right there in the fields. Under the heavy rain, each farmer bends low, hands scraped and muddy, searching for the fruits still intact. Harvesting in the storm has become a familiar scene in many parts of the world, from Florida and Louisiana in the United States to Bangladesh, the Philippines, and central Vietnam, where weather has grown increasingly erratic due to global climate change. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, the frequency of extreme rainfall events during harvest seasons has increased by more than 40% over the past decade, causing estimated losses of over 123 billion USDs annually to global agriculture. Standing out as one of the most iconic symbols of autumn, the pumpkin becomes the opening character in our harvest journey. Across the United States, with Illinois holding the title of Pumpkin Capital, vast golden fields come into season from late September to November, just in time for the excitement of Halloween. Fresh pumpkin harvesters use sharp blades to cut through thick stems, while mechanical arms lift the massive pumpkins from the ground and place them onto conveyor belts. Rotating rollers and brushes remove excess soil before the plump pumpkins are neatly deposited into storage bins at the rear. With a continuous rhythm, thousands of pumpkins are gathered within just a few hours. Unlike fresh pumpkin harvesters, pumpkin seed harvesters have a more specialized design. These machines crush and separate the entire fruit directly in the field, sorting out the seeds through screening systems, while the rind and flesh are discharged back onto the soil as organic fertilizer. By combining these two technologies, American farmers not only meet the enormous demand for fresh pumpkins in holiday markets and food production, but also maximize economic value from the seeds, driving annual yields to more than 680,000 metric tons. Farewell to the diligent farmers across the fields of Illinois. Now let us journey to Wisconsin and Massachusetts, where every September, farmers harvest their rewards, glistening like crimson jewels upon the water. Unlike pumpkins, cranberries are harvested using a unique method known as wet harvesting. When the season arrives, farmers flood the bogs with water, then deploy special machines called water reels or egg beaters to stir the vines and loosen the berries. Thanks to tiny air pockets inside, cranberries rise and float, creating a spectacular sight. Thousands of bright red berries drifting like a floating carpet across the water's surface. Next comes the conveyor harvester, a modern harvesting machine that drives directly through the flooded bog. At the front, steel tines sweep the floating berries into the intake, while rotating conveyors lift them up, drain the water, and deposit them straight into boats or bins along the bog's edge. This method accelerates collection, reduces the need for manual boom corralling, and minimizes damage, making it ideal for large-scale cranberry farms in the US and Canada. Much like the bison roaming the Great Plains, the sight of flooded bogs shimmering with cranberries has become an enduring symbol of North America, a living image that captures both its natural abundance and cultural identity. Another approach that is becoming increasingly widespread is the conveyor harvester, which demands an investment of $250,000 to $400,000, but delivers far greater efficiency. At the front, steel tines sweep the floating berries toward the intake, where rotating conveyors lift them up, drain away the excess water, and deposit them directly into waiting boats or bins along the bog's edge. Each year, harvesting 700,000 tons of cranberries can require millions of liters of water, but Ocean Spray, the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the United States, emphasizes that much of this water is reused throughout the season, while accounting for nearly 70% of the nation's production. Brussels sprouts grow in tall, sturdy stalks that can reach up to a meter in height, with dozens of compact green buds tightly clustered along the stem, making their harvest a task that requires both precision and specialized machinery. From September to March each year, the Brussels sprout fields in Flanders, the agricultural heart of Belgium, enter their harvest season. Farmers rely on specialized machines such as trailed Brussels sprout harvesters and self-propelled Brussels sprout harvesters. Inside, 6 rapidly rotating blades spin like a giant pencil sharpener, trimming each compact sprout and pushing the stalk forward. Every 6 seconds, one plant is fully processed. The Brussels sprouts are then cleaned by fans and filters before falling into the collection hopper. Thanks to scientific farming methods and highly efficient mechanization, Belgian farmers harvest more than 156 million pounds of Brussels sprouts each year, surpassing other countries such as the Netherlands, Germany, and the United Kingdom. Nearly 90% of the products we use every day contain sugar, and much of that sweetness begins in the sun-drenched sugarcane fields of Brazil, where farmers harvest around 650 million tons of cane each year. During the 2025 season, Brazilian farmers must race against time to cut and process sugarcane before it is sent for crushing and export. Before the 2000s, both American and Brazilian farmers commonly burned sugarcane fields before harvest, especially in São Paulo state, which produces more than half of Brazil's output. It might sound unusual, but the purpose was to remove dry leaves and unnecessary tops. This left the stalks cleaner, reduced excess debris such as fallen leaves, organic matter, and insects, and made manual cutting faster and more efficient. However, because of the enormous amount of smoke and harmful emissions it generated, Brazil has implemented a program to almost completely eliminate pre-harvest burning, shifting instead to mechanized green cane harvesting. But in the United States, especially in Florida, burning sugarcane before harvest is still common. If you were there, how would you explain the reason behind it? Against this backdrop, harvesting fresh, unburned sugarcane with modern machinery is increasingly being promoted and has quickly become the dominant path forward. Specialized harvesters cut the cane close to the ground while simultaneously stripping leaves and tops right in the field. The stalks are lifted onto trucks by conveyor belts and transported straight to the mills on the same day. If the harvest is delayed, the sugar content in the cane drops rapidly, making it prone to mold and pests, which reduces its market value. That is why Brazilian farmers always strive to deliver the cane to the mills within 24 hours to ensure the best quality. Across Europe, Russia, and the northern United States, vast sugar beet fields stretch endlessly, with the harvest season running from September to November. Modern sugar beet harvesters are massive self-propelled machines designed with high precision. At the front, lifting wheels or digging shares penetrate the soil, gently raising the beets from the ground without breaking them. Immediately afterward, fast-spinning knives slice off the green tops, which are left in the field as a natural fertilizer. The beets, once cleaned and neatly trimmed, travel along a conveyor system, passing through a series of rollers and cleaning turbines that remove excess soil and stones. Finally, they are deposited into a large holding tank on the machine. While sugarcane still dominates with nearly 80% of the world's sugar supply, sugar beets provide the remaining 20%, with the European Union, Russia, the United States, and Turkey among the leading producers. China dominates the global plum industry, producing more than 6 million tons annually, over half of the world's total output. From July to September each year, farmers race against time to harvest their fruit at peak ripeness. Harvesting plums requires a delicate balance between speed and care. In small orchards, workers pick by hand, gently twisting the fruit from the branches to preserve the thin skin and juicy flesh. The harvested plums are then collected into baskets and moved quickly to sorting stations. In larger farms, such as those in California, mechanical shakers are deployed. These machines grip the trunk or main branches, delivering powerful shakes that send ripe plums tumbling onto catching frames or padded nets below. The fruit is then sorted, graded, and packed within hours to maintain freshness. Beyond being eaten fresh, plums are dried into prunes, processed into jams, or fermented into wines and spirits. Altogether, the global plum and prune industry carries an economic value of more than 10 billion USD, giving this fruit cultural and commercial importance far beyond the orchard. With expectations of harvesting more than 190 million tons of tomatoes in the 2025 season, This crop is grown in over 170 countries, making it one of the most widely cultivated on the planet. Harvesting methods vary depending on their intended use. For fresh market tomatoes, farmers must harvest quickly during the peak season, typically from June to October. Workers hand-pick each fruit by gently twisting it off the vine and placing it into crates to protect the delicate skin. In contrast, processing tomatoes are harvested with mechanical tomato harvesters. These self-propelled machines cut entire plants at the base and feed them into an onboard system that strips away vines and leaves. Advanced optical sorters then separate ripe red fruit from green or damaged ones, discarding the latter. The selected tomatoes travel along conveyor belts into large holding bins before being transported directly to processing plants. Thanks to this technology, a single harvester can collect up to 60 tons of tomatoes per hour, replacing the labor of hundreds of workers. China, India, and the United States dominate global production, with California's Central Valley alone producing millions of tons each year, much of it destined for sauces, ketchup, and canned products. An industry worth nearly $190 billion worldwide, almost 19 times the value of the global plum and prune market. Let us journey to the tropical coasts, where one of the world's most iconic crops thrives: the coconut. Harvesting coconuts is a task that demands both skill and courage. In many traditional plantations across Asia, such as Indonesia, the Philippines, and India, farmers climb towering palms that can reach up to 20 meters high, using only ropes or simple footholds to reach the heavy clusters. With a swift swing of a machete, the coconuts are cut free and dropped to the ground. Modern methods have introduced long poles fitted with sharp blades or hooks. Standing safely on the ground, farmers align the pole, twist, and cut the stem, bringing the coconuts down one by one. In Thailand and parts of Southeast Asia, specially trained monkeys are still used. They climb quickly, twist the coconuts with precision, and can harvest hundreds per day. The global coconut industry, valued at more than $20 billion USD, plays a vital role not only in tropical economies, but also in the worldwide markets for food, cosmetics, and health products. Harvesting sweet corn requires precise timing. If picked too early, the kernels remain underdeveloped. If left too long, the sugars quickly convert into starch, diminishing their flavor. The peak season usually runs from June to August in the United States and from July to September in Europe, with more than 45 million tons of sweet corn needing to be gathered in a race against time. First come the whole-ear corn harvesters, which glide smoothly down the rows, using sharp cutting systems, either serrated blades or rotating discs, to slice cleanly at the base of the stalks and feed the entire plant into the machine. Inside, counter-rotating rollers take over. They strip away the outer leaves, keep only the quality ears, and move them onto conveyor belts that carry them to holding tanks or directly into waiting trucks. The most advanced sweet corn harvesters today come from companies like John Deere, with models such as the 7700 series harvester, capable of processing up to 20 tons of corn per hour, matching the workload of more than 100 laborers working non-stop. Yet despite these advances in technology, the careful hands of farmers still provide a level of quality that machines cannot replicate. Hand harvesting, though far less efficient, nearly 15 times slower than mechanized methods, preserves the natural freshness and premium quality of each ear, ensuring they arrive at the next stage in perfect condition. Once the golden fields have been cleared and the ears collected with care, the journey shifts away from the sunlit countryside into modern factories, where sweet corn is transformed into the delicious products we enjoy every day. China, the undisputed king of the garlic world. Despite repeated allegations of using prison labor in its production chain, the country still churns out over 20 million tons of garlic every year, dominating more than 80% of the global supply and exporting to nearly every continent. And here's a fascinating fact you might not know. Garlic is an asexual plant. That means over the centuries, the quality and traits of the clove you're holding in your hand still carry the exact genetic imprint of its ancestors from generations past. But garlic isn't just biologically fascinating, it's nutritionally powerful too. It contains allicin, a powerful compound known to boost immunity, help prevent colds, and act as a natural biological shield that repels hungry insects in the fields, reducing the need for excessive pesticides. Interestingly, despite its humble nature, Americans aren't too fond of garlic cloves that look rough or imperfect. That's why Christopher Ranch cleverly tapped into this preference, focusing on producing higher quality, locally grown garlic, a strategy that helped the brand stand strong and weather the storm of cheap garlic imports from China. So, what do you think? Is overwhelming quantity or lasting quality the true measure of success in modern agriculture? And no matter where it's grown, the journey of garlic always begins in the fields, where around November, the first seed cloves are gently planted into the soil, marking the start of a slow but promising growing season. After about 7 to 8 months, when garlic fields begin to turn golden and the outer leaves start to dry, that's the familiar signal that farmers are about to reap the well-earned reward for their hard work. Harvest season has arrived. One key difference in garlic harvesting compared to other crops is that farmers deliberately stop irrigation a few weeks in advance, allowing the stems and leaves to naturally wilt in the field before bringing in the harvesting machinery. Unlike the heavy-duty machines used for harvesting potatoes, garlic is harvested using a specialized bulb harvester, a machine designed to gently dig up, lightly clean, and transport field-dried garlic bulbs in one continuous process, with minimal human handling. A thin, sharp cutting blade glides gently beneath the soil, lifting the garlic bulbs from the ground with precision. Immediately afterward, a vibrating shaft or shaker table helps shake off any remaining soil around the bulbs while also separating the dried stems and leaves. These dried plant parts, which hold no commercial value, are discharged at the back, either left to decompose naturally on the field or collected for composting. With high capacity, a machine like this can harvest between 10 to 20 tons of garlic per day, depending on soil type and bulb dryness. It's an ideal solution for large-scale garlic production areas that supply industrial processing chains, such as peeling, oil extraction, drying, or freezing. However, large-scale harvesting often leads to uneven quality, which is why, for the premium market, each bulb must be hand-harvested, because there's simply no place for misshapen or unattractive garlic cloves. After being pulled, garlic is arranged in neat rows on the field, with the bulbs facing inward and the leaves overlapping to create shade, protecting them from harsh sunlight that could damage the skin or cause neck burn. Over about 5 to 10 days, the garlic gradually dries thanks to the sun and wind. Its skin tightens, becomes lighter in color, and its natural aroma becomes noticeably stronger. Garlic can only be harvested within a short window of a few weeks, as leaving it in the ground too long causes the bulbs to split, lose dryness, and diminish in flavor. making it crucial for farmers to complete the entire process within this narrow golden window to preserve crop quality. Although this process is more labor-intensive and time-consuming, it yields garlic bulbs that meet high commercial standards, easier to store, easier to sell, and more appealing to consumers who are willing to pay up to 50% more than the base price. At the end of the harvest season, truckloads of garlic roll toward the processing plant, where these pungent bulbs begin their next chapter, transforming into flavorful, convenient products, with enough punch to keep any vampire far, far away. As they arrive at the factory, tons of garlic still carrying the warm scent of sunlit fields are greeted by forklifts unloading towering crates into the warehouse, a resting place before the bulbs begin their journey through a magical production process. After their resting time in the warehouse, each crate of garlic is gradually awakened and moved to the pre-processing area. Here, the bulbs are gently poured onto conveyor belts where everything begins to reveal their destined path. Rotating shafts then work to loosen and remove dirt and debris from the garlic bulbs, preparing them for the next steps in processing. In modern factories, sorting is carried out using a vibrating mesh system, where each garlic bulb rolls across screens with standardized mesh sizes. Only those with uniform size, dry skin, and no bruises make it through this first checkpoint. Amid the gentle hum of the conveyor line is a constant rhythm of inspection. As each garlic bulb passes through, it is carefully examined one last time before officially entering the path of processing. After clearing the initial screening, the garlic bulbs are further sorted based on their intended processing purpose, with criteria such as color, size, and skin condition. At this stage, no machine can replace the keen, experienced eyes of skilled workers who can inspect and make decisions on up to 200,000 pounds of garlic each day. The plump, dry-skinned garlic bulbs, playfully nicknamed beauty queens of the field, are sent to the whole bulb packing line, where their appearance is carefully refined down to the smallest detail. The garlic passes through a size sorting machine, a multi-tiered vibrating screen system with different mesh sizes. Smaller bulbs fall through to the lower tiers, while medium and large ones are retained on their respective levels. Each tier has its own chute, directing the garlic to corresponding packing stations, ensuring perfect uniformity in every finished bag. In large-scale factories, this system can process up to 3 to 5 tons of garlic per hour, without a single bulb being touched by human hands. Not every customer has the patience or time to peel each garlic clove individually, which is why pre-peeled garlic products were created to offer quick, convenient, and time-saving solutions for modern living. Their journey begins inside a spinning machine, resembling a giant wok, where each garlic bulb is gently, yet decisively caught in a swirling motion. This rotation causes the outer layers to peel away, revealing the cloves still tightly clustered together inside. Immediately afterward, each clove is guided into a steaming chamber, where warm steam envelops every surface, penetrating every crevice of the skin, softening the thin outer layer until it's ready to be peeled away. Next, the garlic passes over a vibrating table, where carefully calibrated air pressure gently loosens the peeling skin without damaging the pure white cloves inside. The loosened garlic skins are not wasted. Instead, they are collected and recycled as nutritious feed for livestock, contributing to sustainable farming practices. Immediately afterward, the garlic is passed through an optical sorting machine, a modern device that uses light technology to precisely inspect each clove, detecting and removing those with defects, damage, or that fail to meet standards for color and size, ensuring satisfaction even for the grumpiest consumers. Garlic that meets the stringent quality standards undergoes a thorough washing process to remove any remaining impurities, followed by careful drying to preserve its freshness and flavor, before being meticulously packaged and prepared for distribution to kitchens around the world. The innovative marketing strategy for pre-peeled garlic products has captured up to 25% of the market share compared to traditional whole garlic bulbs, even though this method may cause the garlic to lose some of its essence. The unique aroma of garlic will lead you on a different journey, slower, deeper, and ending with a fragrance that's truly unmistakable. First, once the garlic cloves have been carefully sorted to ensure uniformity, they are seasoned according to specific recipes that typically include olive oil, sea salt, black pepper, and aromatic herbs such as rosemary or thyme. These ingredients are carefully mixed to enhance the natural flavor of the garlic and add subtle layers of taste. The seasoned cloves are then evenly spread out on large trays or arranged meticulously on conveyor belts to ensure consistent roasting. Following this preparation, the trays or conveyor belts transport the cloves into the industrial roasting oven, where controlled heat and airflow work together to slowly and evenly roast the garlic to perfection. Like baking an apple pie, controlling the temperature is the most important factor. The roasting temperature and duration are carefully adjusted, typically ranging from 160 to 180 degrees Celsius for 20 to 40 minutes, to ensure the cloves cook evenly while preserving their flavor and tenderness. In that warmth and darkness, the natural sugars in the garlic gradually transform, creating a glossy honey-brown color. The sharpness nearly disappears, replaced by a mild sweetness, nuttiness, and a subtle smoky aroma, reminiscent of a mysterious savory jam. Although garlic offers many health benefits when consumed in moderation, about 1 to 2 cloves per day, excessive intake or combining it with certain medications, such as blood thinners, blood pressure drugs, or alcohol, can cause side effects like increased bleeding, excessive blood pressure reduction, or stomach irritation. Therefore, maintaining a balanced intake is advisable for good health. After coming out of the oven, the roasted garlic cloves are immediately transferred to the cooling area. There, an industrial fan system continuously blows cool air over the surface of the garlic, rapidly reducing its temperature. Timely cooling not only preserves the cloves' soft texture and necessary moisture, but also prevents microbial growth, thereby extending shelf life. Finally, each fragrant garlic clove undergoes thorough inspection to ensure quality and consistency before being carefully packaged and distributed to markets worldwide, ready to enhance kitchens everywhere. And that's the magical journey of each garlic clove, from the field to your table, bringing natural flavor and the power to ward off any vampires lurking in your kitchen. After washing, the chicory roots are sent to the sorting and quality control area. Here, workers manually remove any roots that are broken, moldy, rotten, or incorrectly sized. Only roots that meet strict criteria, straight, long, undamaged, and of sufficient size, are kept for the next phase, bud forcing. Meanwhile, the growing racks equipped with trays, each divided into square cells sized to fit individual chicory roots, are first filled with cool water. This step helps establish a stable, humid, and temperature-controlled environment ideal for bud forcing. Once the trays are in place and filled, workers carefully insert each chicory root into a cell with speed and precision, ensuring the base of the root makes proper contact with the water surface. The roots are spaced evenly to avoid overcrowding, creating optimal conditions for uniform sprouting and producing high-quality endive buds. At last, after all the meticulous preparation, the strange journey of the chicory root reaches its most awaited chapter. The darkroom forcing stage, where the real magic begins. The first key to success is creating an environment of total darkness. Only in the absence of light can the plant's natural biology be deliberately redirected and controlled, steering its growth in a completely new direction. To achieve this, the environment is carefully controlled. Temperature is kept steady between 12 to 16 degrees. Air humidity is maintained at 90 to 95%, and oxygen levels are adjusted to slow down respiration and limit natural oxidation. As a result, the buds grow slowly but consistently, with reduced risk of rotting and a uniform, elegant shape, each one a flawless product of darkness and precision. Beneath each tray is a recirculating hydroponic system that delivers water and nutrients from the bottom up. This ensures the root bases remain consistently moist without water pooling on the buds, reducing the risk of fungal infections while encouraging the sprouts to grow upright, thick, and uniformly shaped. Inside the darkroom, the space is organized into multi-tiered shelving racks, each level holding hundreds of trays. This vertical layout allows thousands of chicory roots to be cultivated simultaneously in a closed-loop system optimized for mass production. The forcing process typically lasts between 20 and 25 days, during which the growth of the buds is continuously monitored by a network of sensors connected to a central control system. This ensures precise regulation of environmental conditions, allowing the sprouts to develop at a steady, optimal pace. If you want to become a classic-style farmer, try growing endive using the traditional soil forcing method. Instead of investing in complex hydroponic systems, this approach allows chicory roots to be planted directly into soil beds inside a dark room. The entire bed is covered with black plastic sheets to retain moisture, block out light, and maintain stable temperatures, creating ideal conditions for the buds to grow. Chicory grown this way often produces endives with a richer flavor, denser texture, and thicker leaves compared to hydroponic cultivation. Although it requires more space and yields less, this traditional model is still practiced on many farms across Europe, especially in Belgium, the birthplace of endive. At the end of all the patience and meticulous labor comes the most rewarding moment: harvest time. When the endive buds reach 12 to 15 centimeters in length with uniformly pointed tips, tightly wrapped leaves, and no gaps for light to enter, they are considered perfectly mature, forming what many call pearls of the dark, known for their crisp texture, delicate sweetness, and the near-complete absence of chicory's natural bitterness. In modern facilities, the harvest is assisted by rotary disc cutters, machines hailed as essential tools in the final stage of production. Their continuous and precise operation can boost productivity by 3 to 5 times compared to manual cutting, while significantly reducing damage caused by improper handling. The machine features a large rotating disc divided into multiple compartments, each designed to securely hold the chicory root horizontally. The entire operation runs continuously and smoothly, with each rotation typically processing 4 to 6 roots, depending on the machine's configuration. Once separated, the endive buds drop gently into a collection chute and are transferred to a sorting conveyor, where workers inspect and remove any buds with loose leaves, deformities, or imperfections, ensuring that only flawless specimens continue on to packaging. After sorting, the premium-grade endive buds are transferred to the packaging line in a chilled environment. Depending on the target market, the buds may be packed in breathable mesh bags, plastic trays with shrink wrap, or vacuum-sealed packaging, extending shelf life up to 2 to 3 weeks while preserving freshness and structure. Finally, the packaged units are labeled, tagged with traceability codes, and stored in cold chambers awaiting shipment. And just like that, from a humble root grown under open skies, through a dual life journey between light and shadow, the endive bud is born, a symbol of refinement, precision, and sustainability in modern European agriculture.